Hello, everybody. Welcome to Nintendo Power Block, episode 169. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Derrigan. Alongside me, as always, is that retro code, Eddie V.
Am I Luigi or Guigi? Who knows?
Ed,
Hi, everybody.
Ed, you're the Guigi to my Luigi.
Yes. But that means I can't stay away from water. I gotta stay away from water.
Yeah, sure. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how that works. Not gonna lie to you. How's it going, Ed? How's your week going? How's life?
It is snowing here in the Midwest in Illinois, and I see that Ohio got no snow. You have guys have a bunch of leaves, and it looks beautiful and all of that.
It's still cold. It's supposed to be like 35
yes.
degrees tonight, which is normal. You know, it's that time of year. November.
Yeah, I know.
It's November. You know, it's going to be cold and exciting colors and everything. So, you know.
Yeah. It rained yesterday before this recording. Then in the morning, I seen all this white stuff. I'm like, what is this nonsense? So, yeah. But yeah, I'm doing great. Feeling good. Feeling very vibrant, happy about some future things that's coming up.
I know. I'm very. So the next couple weeks. Here's the breakdown. I'm moving in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from tomorrow, right? As of this recording. So, next week, Ed and I are going to record 2 shows back to back. One's going to be, a normal show where we talk about news and have a topic and everything. And then the show after that, I'm saving all the questions that we get this week and next week for a question, just a giant question block episode. So, then during the question block episode, we will kind of spell out what's happening with Nintendo Power Block and the future of the NX project, which, if people have been following us on social media and stuff, we're going to do kind of like a breakdown of what's happening with that. And what we are doing as a team, you, me, Ed, you and me with Jesse and Ray, what our plans are for the future. We talked a little bit about stuff a couple weeks ago about what we would like to do. And Saturday's recording of the NX show. We're going to talk about some things beforehand and kind of vote on some things. Couple teasers for you. The NX project and Codename NX have always been meant to be a kind of placeholder name for us. But I feel pretty good about the name that we are voting on. We want this to be a team-based vote, but I think it's safe to say that we're gonna finally choose a name for the project. I'm hyped, and the theme song Jesse sent us, the demo, dude. I listened to that thing probably 15 times in the last, probably since lunch today. I've probably listened to it about 15 times. I was like, man, this is exactly the vibe I want for this name.
It literally, when I was listening to it, I'm like, this literally fits. It just literally fits. And I can't listen to it no more because I want to hear the final product. I don't want to. I don't want to dig in. I just like, I know that you got some fine tuning to do, and I want to hear the fine tuned version.
Yeah.
But what he gave us was just like, this is a great start.
Yeah. So when he sent that, I was I was ecstatic, to be honest with you. I was like, this is exactly the vibe I want. This is the tone I want to set for us. It's very upbeat, very positive, very kind of like, if you're playing a game, like grab your weapon and let's take this battle to the bad guys, right? Like that's oh man, it reminded me.
We can't say no more.
No,
we can't say no more.
I know. I got one more thing
sure.
to say. I'm going to say one more thing. It really gave me that feel, like that old, like Mega Man, or like just oh, that music from NES and Super Nintendo, like
Yes.
that's the
Yes.
like modernized, obviously, but like it just really gave me that
That,
nostalgic feeling of sitting
yes.
down behind my parents' couch and just playing games. And I was just, oh man, it's so good. I cannot wait for everybody to hear it on the NX show, and I think he's gonna write us a new theme song for Nintendo Power Block as well. Although I haven't really this if he's listening to this episode, this is probably the first he's hearing about that. But it's fine. So yeah, I'm very excited about our future, Ed. I love the ideas that we've come up with, and the last week or so has been kind of stressful and weird, and things are changing, but like I'm
I,
so confident and so proud of what we're doing that it's so
yes.
hard to keep it in right now. Mostly because I don't want people to steal the name. To be 100% honest, and I'm actually 1,000% surprised that it is not taken anywhere. So
And unfortunately, everybody, when you're hearing this and seeing this, we can't go no further. You will have to wait.
yeah,
We have to, because we don't
yeah,
want anything to slip. We're placing an NDA on ourselves.
yeah, yeah. So how it's gonna go is we're doing this week's episode, obviously normal except for this part, right? Like it's gonna be a normal episode. Next week's gonna be a normal episode, but the week after that is going to be an evergreen kind of question block episode where we just answer your questions, and then we'll follow up with a normal episode the following week because I'm moving and
Yes.
I want to make sure I get everything set up, and yeah, that's basically how it's going to go. Today, instead of question block, Ed and I are going to talk about how we want to do Game of the Year this year for Nintendo Power Block, since we brought it back in a kind of a big way, and the future of everything. So we're gonna kind of have a candid discussion about our Game of the Year and how we want to do it. Do we want to do categories? Do we want to just do personal top tens? That kind of thing, which I think might be a cool thing to do. But so yeah, that's how it's gonna go. But I'm Ed. I'm so excited. I haven't been this excited for something for a while. I mean, I was excited when we decided to bring Power Block back
Yes.
per listener demand. To be honest with that, but also I can't wait to work with Jesse and Ray on more stuff. I can't wait to do these other shows and videos and live streams and stuff. So I can't tell you how excited I am. I hope everybody can tell how excited I am. But
You're very giddy.
yeah,
We're
I am, dude.
excited.
I am. Like, I'm so excited that I can barely like get it out
Contain
how
it.
excited I am. But anyways, we're gonna do some of this housekeeping real quick. If you're new to the show, welcome to Nintendo Power Block. This is a great time to jump in on the fandom of the show. A great time to be a Power Blocker. Each week, Edward and I get together to talk about Nintendo games, news, analysis, rumors, and other shenanigans. You can find Nintendo Power Block on YouTube, Spotify, and your favorite podcast apps every Saturday at 7 a.m. Eastern. We are planning on going back live. I'm just trying to get a few things set up, and probably after I move and everything, we'll go back to doing live shows on the NX Mixer and Twitch channels, so you can find them there. So jump on there. We'll be there.
Yes.
Dude, I can't contain how excited I am. Follow us on Twitter at CorianHG713 and that retro code, and check out our other podcasts and content. So yeah, Nintendo Power Block. I thought about giving it its own Twitter again, but since we're kind of folding it in under the NX banner and everything, we're just gonna keep the NX show, just one Twitter. Everybody has the one Twitter, one Instagram. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's just
Yes.
easier now that we're all kind of focused on this one thing. I just think it would be easier to do that, and then let our personal feeds be the extra feeds if we need it, right? So, also, optional opinion. I know, Ed, you had Jesse on recently.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's download Optional Opinion on your podcast service of choice.
It's the new season. It has officially started, but the episodes will be starting rolling out next week. So,
yes. Also, we are giving away a game. In November, we are giving away a digital copy of both Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. You can enter up to 4 times by each of the following: screenshot your podcast subscription, review and rating on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. 5-star reviews are the best, so leave us them 5 stars. An NX YouTube subscription and a Mixer and Twitch follow. Send us an email of your screenshots to nintendopowblock@gmail.com and tell us where you listen to the show and what you like about it. The winner will be drawn on Thursday, November 14th, so get your entries in. That's gonna be a good time, man. I'm so excited for this the fact that we're getting to the point where we can do giveaways again and stuff. Like, it's just exciting. It's just an exciting time, man.
Yes.
Ed, I'm so excited to hear about what you've been playing.
So
I'm just excited. Can you tell I'm excited? I think the episode title is just going to be "We're Excited."
Excited. Please, no, we're excited. No need for clapping. So I've been playing Ninja Clash of Carrots. This is like an auto scroll arcade, like beat 'em up. I kind of had it for like a year, and I'm just like, you know what? While I'm at work, let me jump into this game and play. And I've been playing it in like small spurts when I'm at lunch, or if I get to work early, I'll play some there, and I'm kind of enjoying it. It's getting a little bit difficult because some of the weapons are taking some of my magic, and I need my magic like the dash and everything. So it's the difficulty is repping up, but it's repping up really nicely in a sense. And nicely saying that it does not get too difficult, but the challenge is there, and it feels good when you actually make it through. Also returned to Graceful Explosion Machine, getting my skill level back and everything. I still need to practice more and more, because even though I beat the game, it's always good to be like, you know what? I could get that C that I got at least up to a B, and I could probably get that B up to an A. And you just work at it, and you kind of get like sucked back in to it. Played a little bit more of Daemon X Machina, getting a little bit further into that. Playing Contra Collection. Been playing the first game over and over, but been playing like the Japanese and European version. And I haven't been making it like to the end, and only reason why I'm doing that is I'm not doing the Konami code. I'm trying to just play the game like it was originally intended for that game. And so, just trying to get better and better at it. It's more of playing by memory and everything, and paying attention to the enemies and what's going on the screen, and just reacting in a certain manner. I did pick up Luigi Mansion 3, but I did not Luigi's Mansion 3. But I have not started it yet. So when you guys check out next episode, or if you guys check out the NX show, I will have more detail about that game. But pretty much at this time, that's all I've been playing on Switch. But there's a lot of Nintendo games I got to catch up on, and I got to get through before Game of the Year. Because any way that you see it, I think Nintendo's going to take Game of the Year. I think one of their titles is going to take it this year.
I hope so. I mean, to be fair, there's been a lot of good, like, a lot of people are saying it's been like a really down year for games, but I actually really think it's been like a pretty decent year for games in terms of like what I like to play. And yeah, I know like some games have been like there hasn't really been that 10 out of 10 like universally like we have games that we like that were 10 out of 10s, but like in terms of major outlets are like, oh man, these games are all 10s. Like the year God of War and Red Dead came out, right? Like a lot of outlets were giving those games 10s, right? And you were like, okay, well, the major outlets are going to give either God of War or Red Dead Game of the Year that year, right? So but for me, like, there's been a ton of games out there that are really solid games that I think a lot of people, I feel like whatever wins Game of the Year this year is going to be a game that people like choose from the heart instead of like technical prowess or controls or whatever. You know what I mean?
Or even
like,
cell numbers.
Like Control, right? That's a game that's been getting 7s and 8s, but all I hear are people praising the crap out of that game, right?
Yes.
So, or the Outer Worlds, pretty decently reviewed game. Not a huge game, but a game that people are loving nonetheless, including me. I played the first 3 or 4 hours of it. I'm really digging it. Coming to Switch soon, hopefully. But
yeah, they said next year.
Yeah, but as for me, I've been playing not much because of this week has been kind of crazy and in good and bad ways. So I haven't really gotten to play much. I did play a little bit of Tetris and Fire Emblem last night because it's one of those comfort food games, right? Where like I just want to I needed something to just be comfortable and let me just not think about things and just strategy RPG and Tetris are two games that you really have to think, but you know what I mean, like I don't have to like think about controls or fighting a hard boss or anything. I just play to have fun and grind and mindless fun, as they say.
Yes.
So that's really all I've been playing. I don't really have anything new. I could talk about the Outer Worlds since it's coming to Switch, but
because I'm playing a certain game on Xbox, and I'll say that for NX.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess I can save that for the NX show, but I'm really digging the Outer Worlds. If you have Xbox Game Pass, you have it, right? But that's kind of it. I've been working on I wrote a letter to you guys this week, and I what plans that we were going to vote on Saturday. So that's kind of been my week. That and working. Work has been kind of stressful the last like 2 weeks. So that's that's
and interesting.
It's not that I'm stressed out about the job itself. It's just people are leaving, and it's going to make my job a little bit more difficult than it should be. But people leave jobs, it's fine. So that's really it. I don't have anything else to say about games I've been playing. I do want to play Luigi's Mansion, but since we're moving and I've got a bunch of other games to play, and I have a list of a couple games I would like to get, but my birthday's coming up, and Hanukkah and Christmas, so certain games are going to have to wait till then, like Luigi's Mansion, and I really want to play that new Star Wars game that's coming out.
Jedi Fallen?
Yeah, Pokemon, obviously, coming, and then I would also like to get Dragon Quest and The Witcher for Switch at some point, but
I those two I need to get, like Dragon Quest and Witcher 3 I want to get. There's some stuff in September that came out that I'm like, man, I need to go back and get. And it's funny that you mentioned like Sword and Shield, because like that Friday, the day before that Thursday, I get paid, so I could go get that game. So hopefully, I have the funds to go get it after doing the sudden repair thing and getting some other stuff. Yeah.
So that's kind of all I've been playing. So I forgot that my Switch wasn't plugged in, to be 100% honest. So I literally plugged mine in around like 5:00 today. I forgot I had it in the case. Yeah, like last night I was playing Tetris, and it was at like 49%, and I played Tetris for like a half hour, and then it was at like 40%. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna play some Fire Emblem. Dude, a half hour after Fire Emblem was at 17%. I'm like, ooh, boy, better. Let's just plug it in and go to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, Ed, do you want to get in some of these news bits? We got quite a bit to talk about here. To be.
Oh, do we ever?
Yeah. So, yeah. Oh man, did I forget to? I forgot to add the link into there. It's all right. We'll do the second story first, and I'll go to the first story after this. So everybody knows Reggie retired from Nintendo this year.
Mm-hmm.
He gave his first talk at Cornell College of Business. So let's see. Hold on, let me start that over because I just got really lost in what I was talking about. Reggie is now he works for Cornell College of Business, and he chose to share his knowledge of business and leadership in his first talk. So I'm going to read this article from Nintendo Life. Reggie reveals his favorite game from his time at Nintendo and his Smash Brothers main. Asking the important questions. It says, former Nintendo of America president Reggie Fils-Aimé recently hosted a talk at Cornell College of Business during which he chose to share his knowledge of business and leadership. However, some of the most interesting nuggets to come out of the lecture were predictably related to Nintendo. Reggie mentioned, for example, that the late Satoru Iwata was initially against bundling Wii Sports with the Wii console. He also revealed that he's rather happy that he no longer has to field questions about Mother 3 coming to the West. That's good. That's a good one.
Yeah.
As promised, edited highlights from the lecture have now been posted on Cornell's YouTube account, and we've got a few more pieces of interesting info. Reggie was asked by members of the audience what his favorite game during his time at Nintendo is. Answer may not come as much of a shock. It's The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Reggie also was asked which character he mains in Smash Brothers. He revealed that he likes to play as Zelda and Ridley. So you can head over to Cornell's YouTube page for more of Reggie's talk. It's actually quite interesting. I was listening to it a little bit in the car today. So Reggie is a fantastic speaker. I love listening to him talk.
Yeah.
He's so interesting. But I'm kind of surprised, to be honest with you, that his favorite game since he worked at Nintendo since 2004, 3 or 4, is Breath of the Wild. And don't get me wrong, it's a fantastic game. It's probably my favorite game of all time now that I still think about that game constantly. But he was there for like Metroid Prime and Wind Waker and like Brain Age and like all of these fantastic games that in like Breath of the Wild is his favorite. Like that's so like man, it's interesting.
I think when you're in a position like that, your taste of games changes, and he probably probably have a lot of favorites, but I think something about Breath of the Wild popped out to him because it probably came from like this new experience, and it's just like, this is kind of breathtaking, and I get to go in and do some amazing stuff in this game that I'm finding out myself and still learning. And so I think Reggie probably like digged in and was just like blown away on how the team approached the Zelda series and brought something that's still traditional and still organic, but just like completely feel fresh and that you could get lost in. So
yeah. So I mean that was super interesting, and that he likes Zelda and Ridley in Smash. Like I guess that doesn't really surprise me. Zelda is actually like a pretty top tier character from what I understand.
Yes.
So I mean that doesn't really surprise me, but it's I I like hearing things about Reggie that, like, a lot of corporate people don't really seem like human, you know, like they're very, and I don't want to mean like they're just saying whatever, but Reggie always has had this really comforting human element to him, you know.
Yes.
And the fact that he's talking about like his favorite games and who he likes to play in Smash and stuff like that, like it's comforting to know that like someone who's very human kind of, you know, ran the company for a long time. So I like hearing that kind of stuff. So any other thoughts on that, Ed? I think you guys should listen to the talk, though. It's very, very interesting. Even the pared down edited version on the YouTube channel, it's very interesting. So, our next story, not really a big news story, but Nintendo has revealed the top 10 best-selling games for Wii U, 3DS, Wii, and DS as of September 2019. This also comes from Nintendo Life. Earlier today, a new earnings report from Nintendo revealed an updated list of the top 10 best-selling Nintendo Switch games. But what about 3DS, the Wii U, and even the consoles before that? As part of the report, Nintendo has also provided updated figures on these older systems, and while software sales for these consoles are pretty few and far between these days, the DS totals have actually remained the same for months on end now. It's still interesting to see the accurate, up-to-date lists. You'll notice that as well as being the best-selling Switch game, Mario Kart sits right near the top of every single list here. We knew it was a popular series, but seeing its success in cold hard sales numbers is pretty mind-blowing. I'm just gonna we're gonna talk about this Wii U list first. Mario Kart 8 at 8.44 million, which is over half of the install base owning that game. Super Mario 3D World at 5.83 million. New Super Mario Bros. U at 5.79 million. That kind of surprises me that a 2D Mario game did not outsell the 3D Mario game for the generation.
There is kind of a reason behind that. But go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish the list.
Smash Brothers in fourth place. Nintendo Land, Splatoon, Mario Maker, New Super Luigi U, Wind Waker HD, and Mario Party 10 round out the top 10 list. So, yeah, man, Mario Kart 8, best-selling game on Wii U. Not a shocker. Mario Kart 8 is, in my opinion, the best Mario Kart. And the fact that, you know, if you bought a Wii U, you might as well just own Mario Kart.
Pretty much.
So, your thoughts on the Wii U list, Ed?
I'm really happy to hear those numbers, and the reason I mentioned the thing about like a 2D Mario is that I think 2D Mario's is still popular alongside 3D Mario's, but a lot of people love the 2D ones because definitely for kids. I think New Super Mario Brothers, because on how the DS game kind of brought that kind of play style a little bit back to this modern age, and how that led to New Super Mario Brothers Wii, which really took off. And I would be surprised if that's not number one on the Wii list, because that thing sold a bajillion copies. It's kind of, I literally thought that New Super Mario Brothers for Wii U would actually be maybe second place right after Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
Because on how popular the 2D games were, especially with New Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, especially with the Wii one. We'll get to that number in a minute, but you know, that New Super Mario Brothers Wii sold like hotcakes, man. You could not find that game anywhere because it was always sold, right? Like,
and what people got to realize that for years, I don't even think it price dropped once. It was still $60.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we're gonna move on to the 3DS list here. Not surprisingly, Mario Kart 7 at the top of that list with 18.5 million. Pokemon X and Y at 16.5 million. Pokemon Sun and Moon, Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, New Super Mario Brothers 2, Super Mario 3D Land, Animal Crossing, Smash Brothers, Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and Tomodachi Life. Man, Tomodachi Life is the 10th best-selling game on the 3DS.
Yep.
Man,
something about it. So I don't know. I thought Animal Crossing would be number 5 or 4.
I mean,
but then hearing the list, I'm just like, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, no crap. Pokemon sold a ton on 3DS.
Yes, and this is okay. So a little story about what was the last one that came out for 3DS? Was it
Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon were the last Pokemon.
Ultra Sun and Ultra. Okay, so while everybody was going to Best Buy and going to Target and like picking up the game, at that time when it came out, I was working at Toys R Us. Mm-hmm. Nintendo and Toys R Us put a sale on the game where if you buy one, you got the second one 40%, and you got a special bag.
Yeah.
So you would end up paying like, I think everything came out to almost like $73 or $80-some plus tax.
Yeah.
With a free like container bag.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like, this is a smart move on Nintendo, getting people to buy both copies so the sales for that one title could actually sell more. Because I bought it. I was going to, plus I had my social discount. I was just like, yeah, let me take this. And I did.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited for Sword and Shield, to be honest with you. The more and more I watch on that, the more and more it's like, man, I'm really excited for that. So, let's move on to the Nintendo Wii. Man, there are some killer games on here, and probably something that people are going to roll their eyes at, but it's fine. Wii Sports, no surprise there. 82.88 million copies. I know it was bundled in, but later it was not bundled in, and you had to buy it, and it was $20. So
yeah.
Mario Kart Wii at 37 million, no surprise there. Wii Sports Resort at 33 million. New Super Mario Brothers Wii, 30 million units. Right, that's so many.
And times that at $60.
Yeah.
That's 180 some million plus.
Yeah. So I mean, it's
bonkers.
Man, that's crazy. We play 28 million, but you know that also came with the extra remote, which I think is why a lot of people ended up getting it. Wii Fit Plus, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Super Mario Galaxy, and Wii Party round out the top 10 there. You can definitely tell that the Wii was the quote-unquote casual generation.
Yes.
I mean,
it was something creative new.
But like some of the best games were the casual games. Wii Sports is still probably my favorite experience on the Wii, right? Like,
yeah.
It was amazing. Like just bowling and tennis themselves were like just so much fun. And like I remember I took my Wii home one time and my dad and I played a round of golf on the Wii. It was awesome, you know.
Which I have to ask, is Wii Sports the only game that has hit that level of sales for one console?
For one console?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I wouldn't count Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto, I don't think it's the best selling game of all time. And the reason why I don't consider it is that that's sold on multiple consoles. For
you're talking about like single console sales.
Yeah. Well, single console sales, yeah, but just like for one game to be on a single console. Is Wii Sports the only one?
I mean, I wouldn't put
because that would.
It wouldn't surprise me if Wii Sports was that, right? Like it. I mean, I know it was bundled in and everything, but still, it's like can't deny how much that game alone sold the Wii, right? Like it wasn't a Mario game. Like Mario 64 sold the N64. Super Mario World sold the Super Nintendo, right? Like those are games that sold the systems, but they were aimed at gamers, right? Wii Sports was the game that sold the Wii to a lot of people, right? Just like Brain Age sold the DS to a lot of people. It's the casual machine. I think the only two kind of quote unquote hardcore games on here are Smash Brothers and Mario Galaxy, right? Like,
Right.
those are the hardcore games. So the Wii was an interesting console that wasn't my favorite console, but you know, it had its audience, and it was a unique device for sure. So
It's
plus
it places in the middle of one of my favorite Nintendo consoles.
plus like you look at it and it hit kind of at the right time before like Facebook games were a thing, before mobile games were a thing, and this was where the casual audience went to play their quote unquote casual games, right? So
Yes.
yeah. So anyways, we're gonna move on to the DS. Best-selling game was New Super Mario Brothers. That game was very, very interesting at the time because we hadn't had a 2D Mario game since Yoshi's Island, I think. So that hit a lot of people right in the nostalgia buttons. Nintendogs, Mario Kart DS at 23 million, Brain Training at 19 million, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, Pokemon Black and White, more Brain Training, Pokemon Heart Gold and Heart Silver, Animal Crossing Wild World, and of course Super Mario 64 DS at 11 million, rounding out the top 10. So DS is a very special console as well, right? Like dude, remember how ugly that first iteration was?
Oh yeah.
Dude, that for the fat DS was just awful. It was terrible.
I had the blue one.
I almost got a DS, and I was like, no, I'll wait. And like 2 weeks later, they announced the Lite. I'm like, that's it. The DS Lite is still the best one. I still think the DS Lite is still the best one because it still plays your Game Boy Advance games.
Yes.
Plus, the DS Lite.
It was thinner and sleeker.
Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah, I brought Castlevania Aria of Sorrow when I got my first DS.
Nice. All right. So again, those are the top 10 Nintendo games for each console. Not a huge surprise of the list there. Kind of surprised that like there's only like one Zelda game, only a couple Mario games, which is kind of surprising, but people like what they like.
Exactly.
So, all right, our next story: Nintendo reconfirms major release windows for upcoming major Switch games, Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 and Metroid Prime 4 still TBA. Every 3 months, Nintendo provides an updated list of its upcoming major releases to keep investors in the know and as happy as possible. We've got our hands on that very list and share it for you below, although it's not quite as exciting as it has been in the past. The list doesn't appear to show any significant changes from the last time, but it does at least confirm that the games mentioned are still on track for their expected release dates. As it stands, then Animal Crossing New Horizons is indeed still coming out next March without any further delays, and all those heavy hitters at the bottom of the list are still on the way too. Metroid fans still have something to cheer about yesterday with Retro's new hire, which I didn't add it to the show notes, but we need to talk about that.
Yes.
I'm actually going to click on that link right there, and we'll talk about that after this, actually. So the United States, correct as of October 2019. So that the heavy hitters for the U.S. are Ring Fit Adventure, is out already. Luigi's Mansion came out today. Pokemon Sword and Shield, still on track for November. Tokyo Mirage Sessions Encore, still on track for September or for January.
Yep.
Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, early 2020. Animal Crossing New Horizons, still on track for March. And then the heavy hitters, Bayonetta 3, Metroid Prime 4, and Breath of the Wild sequel are still TBA. So, not much really to talk about, but it's exciting to see that Tokyo Mirage Sessions and Xenoblade are coming soon. I can't wait to play Tokyo Mirage Sessions, dude. It's such a good game. I really hope people give this game a shot. If you, man, just the fact that and I just played through Fire Emblem, and it's gonna give you all those Fire Emblem vibes. Man, I love it. It's so good.
Oh, the soundtrack is still amazing.
I know a lot of people got mad because it's censored in the U.S., but you guys are just gonna have to get over it and play it because it's still real good.
Yes.
So, yeah. You have anything to say about these games? Which games are you most excited for on this list besides the TBA ones? Because those are the ones we're really excited for.
Well, of course, Sword and Shield. Definitely took your Mirage Session FE, Sharp FE Encore. I'm definitely looking forward to Animal Crossing. I want to see how this new game on Switch, on how it plays, and what new stuff they're adding. So I'm really excited for that. Xenoblade Chronicles, I'm waiting to see what the date is. And the only reason why it's not a bad thing. I still got the original and everything. I want to see what surrounds it, and if it's going to be a battle of like, do I get this or do I get this? I want to make sure that that game gets market right and it gets in the right place when it gets released.
Yeah, my thing with Xenoblade is like, I remember it being great at the time, but the other day on Nerds Gone Rogue we were talking about Metroid Prime 4 not Metroid Prime 4, Metroid Prime 1, I should say, and we were talking about how it was a fantastic game of its time, but the game with its controls didn't really age as well as the game itself. Yeah. And I wonder if Xenoblade Chronicles is going to have the same problem. Even though even though it's an RPG and like it's turn-based and has its own kind of feel and look to it, right? Like I hope they take the time. Like I think the game that I want to compare it to, honestly, is the Final Fantasy X, 10-2 remasters and the Final Fantasy 12 remaster, where because they're very comparable. That the technology when those games came out is very comparable. Those games' graphics were very comparable at the time, right? And so, like, if they take a little bit of time and kind of remodel some of the characters up, do a good job up-resing the textures and the backgrounds and stuff, like, I think it'll be fine. I think it'll have the audience, especially the Xenoblade audience, right? So, I hope. And Nintendo always takes the time to make these games, better when they re-release things, right? So,
yes.
Hopefully they do the same for Xenoblade.
And it looks like one of their stuff is really putting some work in to make this feel like this brand new paint that's they on it, like the graphics and stuff. That it really looks better. The
Shulk character model in the trailer looked really good. They don't look like up-res 3DS models, right? They look like new character models that fit, right? Like they look like how you remember the game looking instead of like just up-res models from the 3DS version, right? So which is kind of how the Final Fantasy remasters looked, right? They looked like you remembered them, not how they actually looked back then, just in HD. So which, by the way, those games are very, very good too, the Final Fantasy games. So very excited for Xenoblade and Tokyo Mirage Sessions also. I rewatched the Tokyo Mirage Sessions trailer earlier today, and that game is...
I was actually watching...
Dude, I cannot wait for that.
I was actually watching the Nintendo Direct from September, and I was just like, man, these games that are just coming out, like, this is crazy.
Yeah. So, all right, let's move on to this tangent story. I should say. Excuse me, dude. I can't wait till we move, because then I can actually be like loud and boisterous. Because like my baby's room and the wall for the podcast station is they share a wall. And like I feel myself in my head trying to like be quiet, and not be like projective, and like I feel like I have to like tone everything down a little bit, and I get in my head, and then sometimes I forget what I'm saying because I'm in my head. So in a couple weeks we should be back to like hype central, right? So
Yes.
All right, so the Metroid Prime 4 dev, Retro Studios hires Halo character modeler as new lead artist. He is the character modeler for Master Chief, and he is the character modeler for the what's the guy's name from Halo 4? God, the guy, he's the main character in the Halo movie that they made, or TV show, Forward Unto Dawn, and now he's the commander in Halo 4. Man, I forget what his name is, but he modeled Master Chief from Halo 4, and remember how good that looked on Xbox 360?
Yes.
Dude, this has me so excited to see what he can do with a, technically better console and Nintendo first party hardware and program and software to work with, right? Like, if you can get the Samus suit to look like as detailed as the Master Chief suit from Halo 4, oh my gosh, dude, I'm so excited.
The thing, we're gonna get more into it, but the thing, like I mentioned you this story, and I was telling you, I was just like, it's so weird that people left Retro, the Droid 343, that have that Halo 4 look like a Metroid game,
right?
And now it kind of like reverses. Like if they could get Metroid Prime 4 to all we closely resemble a little bit of Halo, and have like amazing detail and Samus suit, the world that she's gonna be in, like it's gonna be crazy. And I think by the looks of it, sorry, buddy, by the looks of it, I was just like, I want to play Halo 4 again to kind of see the art direction.
Well,
for that game.
In Halo 4, he modeled Lasky is the character's name. He was the he modeled Master Chief, Cortana, the Grunts, Lasky, and a couple other, helped out on a couple other things. But in Halo 5, which has me really excited, he modeled he modeled Buck and Tanaka. The entire Fire Team Osiris he modeled. Well, him and his team, I guess. But he also did the Promethean Knights and the Promethean Commanders, which, they could look like they could be ripped straight out of Metroid, because they have like the orange lights and the feel, like, you know what I mean? You remember when Halo 4 came out, we were talking about how much that reminded us of Metroid in just terms of character design and feel and look of everything. This is the guy, right? This is the guy that, like, just looking, I'm on his ArtStation portfolio, right? And just looking at all this is like, if he's the new lead artist on Metroid Prime 4, it has me very, very excited about what he's about to do for this game.
It's so crazy because even if you look at the trailer for Halo 4, it gives you that Metroid feel. Just looking at it, and I'm just like, like seeing him come in and seeing what he's going to do. So now we know, and this is probably just me guessing, I think Metroid probably will be ready by 2021. It may be a March game. Because if they're just still hiring people, like the actual production of working on the game haven't started yet. They're probably still in the pre-planning stages, like doing art for the enemies, the level design, probably doing like animation tests. Like, I think Retro is probably started straight from scratch. I think now like any old assets that the other companies were doing before we started fresh. I think now none of them are going to be in that game, and they're starting straight from scratch.
Yeah, I'm like just looking at his portfolio. When you click on Spartan Vale in his ArtStation portfolio, like the models and stuff, it's probably the most comparable to Samus's armor, right? Because it's like a female soldier with cool looking armor and the visors and stuff. Like this guy has me really excited about what he can bring to Metroid. So yeah, it's full circle, man. When they all left to do Halo, and now people. I don't know if he originally worked on Metroid Prime, but here, let me just read this. Let me just read the article, I guess, because we never even read the article. Retro Studios, the developer currently working hard on Metroid Prime 4, has bolstered its creative talent by hiring Halo series character modeler Kyle Heffley. The news comes from VGC, which reports that Heffley has been snapped up by Retro Studios to be the new character artist. You'll almost certainly be familiar with his previous work with titles like Call of Duty Black Ops, Sleeping Dogs, Halo 4, and 5, all under his belt. You can check out his portfolio here, or we've shared a couple of pieces for you below. So, yeah, his work is pretty top notch, and so we both love Halo. I mean,
yes,
I still think Halo 4 is the best Halo, to be 100% honest with you, in terms of story and stuff. So, but anyways, let's move on, Ed. We've got a couple more stories to go through in a topic. So, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night Switch performance patch is finally out. The long-awaited Nintendo Switch graphics and performance update is now live. Focuses on 4 areas of improvement: input lag, visual quality, crashes, and load times. So 1.03. Sorry, I just got a message from Jesse that he uploaded the new cut of this theme song, and I got really excited and distracted. Where was I? The version 1.03 update brings all these improvements. Was detailed on Bloodstained's forums and is in response to the serious frame rate and optimization problems that appear on the Switch but no other platforms. Input lag has been eliminated throughout the game. The controls should be more responsive. Visual quality has also been improved, so it looks more clear and has more detail. Overall stability has been improved in several situations that have previously caused crashing, most notably when reading books from the bookcase. So, lastly, certain loading times have been reduced by up to 70%, but it is noted that there are still areas that need improvement. So, pretty...
I'm going to wait for Digital Foundry to do a reporting on that patch.
Yeah. This game I still want to play, but I want to play it on Switch, and I want to wait till it's, ready to go, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad the game is on Switch and everything, right? But I want to wait till this game is done and ready and really, really just ready to go. Because I'm actually really enjoyed Curse of the Moon, the 8-bit one.
Yes.
That game was actually very good, right? Like, I loved it. I was very surprised at how much I loved it, because I'm not really, I've talked about it on the show before. I'm not really a Castlevania guy, right? Especially the old ones, right? I never got into them. I never had them, and I just never went back to play them, right? But I thoroughly enjoyed Curse of the Moon. It's up there in terms of indie kind of retro style games, up there for me with Shovel Knight.
Yes.
Which is saying something, because I love Shovel Knight, right? And I think in terms of quality and just what to expect from a retro style game, that game is just on point. So
it is.
It's also only $10. So
yeah.
Jesse keeps messaging the group chat, and I'm just very excited to listen to this theme song. I'm not gonna lie to you. So if you hear buzzing, that's Jesse telling me how awesome his theme song is, and I can't listen to it till after the show. All right, let's go to this last story here. Nintendo. This also comes from IGN. Nintendo will make more 3DS franchises available on Switch. Nintendo has said that it will bring additional 3DS game franchises to the Switch console. As tweeted by Wall Street Journal technology reporter Takahashi Makazuki, Nintendo president Shintaro Furukawa said the company would make more 3DS franchises available on the Switch with the aim of conveying the appeal to the handheld-only light model. In the tweet, it says, as a surprise, analysts say, is a regional breakdown of light sales. It's similar to consoles selling 800K in the US versus 390K in Japan. Usually Japan leads handheld at launch, with US catching up at the end of the life cycle. The result is encouraging for Pokemon games coming next month. Nintendo chief Furukawa said company would make more 3DS franchises available on Switch to convey appeal of the light. So not surprising. I think they really want to. I think they see their place in the market and how people are playing their Switch. Most people are playing it handheld mode, although I actually prefer the TV, to be honest with you. But a lot of people are playing it handheld mode, and the light you can only play in handheld. And appealing to that audience makes sense, right? Hopefully that means we'll get some Mario and Luigi games or ports, or maybe Bravely Default, those kinds of games. Man, remember last Christmas they teased Bravely Default for Switch with the main girl from Bravely Default holding the Joy-Cons in a Christmas costume.
Oh yeah.
And nothing. Just got Octopath Traveler instead.
So speculation. Yes.
So, but that's it. That's interesting that they're going to try to appeal to the handheld audience. I hope they don't stop with the main, kind of aiming towards the console gamers, right? Like I hope they say, hey, you can still get Breath of the Wild 2, but you can also get, these handheld aimed games. So.
Also, shout out to Grezzo. They sold 3 million copies of Link's Awakening. It's one of Grezzo's highest rated games that they sold. So even though Untitled Goose Game sold what it sold digitally for Switch, more people bought Link's Awakening physical than digital. So shout out to Grezzo for that. 3 million. That's crazy.
I bought both. Shh. But yeah, so that's our news. We're gonna, like I said at the top of the show, we're gonna skip question block this week, but please send us your questions because we're doing a very special question block episode for the week that I am moving. So you can email us at nintendopowblock@gmail.com. Also enter our giveaway. Our topic this week, we're just gonna have a candid conversation about how we're gonna do Game of the Year this year. Ed, I just want to hear your ideas, your thoughts, like what you want to do in terms of Game of the Year this year and kind of moving forward. I know the NX show is going to work a little bit differently.
Yes.
I almost said the new name of the show. It almost came out. But I just want to know what you think of what we should do with Power Block and how we approach that and do you want to do categories? Like, do we want to make like a category episode where like we pick best art and we pick 3 games in each category and like have 10 categories and then we talk about each category and then the following week we'll do like our top 10s style things, or what do you want to do? Like I think
we could we could do half and half, where we do about, let's say, 6 categories for Switch, and then we have kind of like our 10 game list, because I think there's some stuff that even if we just got to it of its backlog, sometimes that stuff want to be like, oh man, I'm now playing this. This is why this should be the big game of the year, or this is why I did win game of the year. So I think we could do half and half. I think we still do the point system for our list. But then like also with those 6 categories, give certain games that might not be on our list those awards. And then maybe ask the viewers and the listeners, hey, maybe we take some of their categories that they want us to give to a game, and they could put in their nominations, and we vote on that nomination, and that game would get that award.
Yeah, we could do something like that. I think that sounds like a cool plan. I think, I want to talk about like what kind of categories we would like to do. Like, you want to do like best art, or do you want to do something like that? Like best. I I'm really struggling to like think of categories right now. I just
so
man.
so I probably would do uh best IP, best new IP release on Switch. Because even though we got like a lot of ports and stuff, I think we could nominate some IPs, like some new IPs that came to Switch. Daemon X Machina,
Astral Chain.
All right, I gotta go actually to.
I gotta find a list of that, but
stuff like War. Did Wargroove come out this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, Wargroove. Like, and we can have a mix of indie and first party, even third party. Gato Robo, stuff like that. Like, what's that new IP that actually came out that deserves kind of a award? Because we can always do best Nintendo first party game, and we already know that that's a lot of stuff lined up. We could do best port game, like Witcher 3, Divinity Original Sin, Dragon Quest Dragon Quest 11S. We could also probably do like best sequel, like or best licensed games. Like, so we could do a lot of stuff that we could play all best backlog game that we played this year on Switch. That we definitely enjoyed. We could go off of that and everything. Like, there is so much stuff. And really, we could even do best E3 moment of Nintendo of 2019. Was it the Breath of the Wild reveal? Was it Panzer Dragoon? Was it the reveal of Banjo Kazooie? What got us like excited? About E3 that we liked, or what about the Nintendo Directs this year? What part of the Nintendo Direct like really excited us outside from the E3 demonstration? So that includes the Indie Showcase, and the Nintendo Directs. Like, there's a lot that we could really choose from.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot. Like, I think we could do like something goofy too, like dumbest new character, like, I don't know, like Guiji, or it's like the biggest dork or something. Like Game Informer does a lot of cool things too in their magazine of like they'll have like their top 50 lists, and then they'll have like best new characters, all that kind of stuff. But then they'll also have like biggest dork or best boss battle, right? Like that kind of thing. Like, I think we could do something interesting like that too.
What character was the best meme? Is it the Goose Gang? Is it the Goose?
Yeah,
who knows?
I mean, that could also like be that. Like, I think speaking of Untitled Goose Game, I think that game has really taken over like the gaming meme by storm. Like, even my wife was asking about it, and she doesn't play games at all. She's like, why are people posting memes of a goose? I'm like, there's a game where you play as a goose and everybody thinks it's funny. So I mean,
and pretty much probably. Cause I want it's so weird, cause we kind of gotta have Microsoft in the conversation, cause they gave us Ori the Blind Forest and Cuphead this year. Like, we got the Fox game, Super Lucky's Tale. Um,
Another
what
Xbox game.
right? What else did we get from Xbox? Like,
I mean, we I know it's not really an Xbox game, but like we got Hellblade and we're getting Outer Worlds,
yeah,
right? Like, I mean, those are technically Microsoft Studios games. Like, I mean, I know it's not Xbox games specifically, but
right.
you know, Ninja Theory and Obsidian are now owned by
Microsoft.
Microsoft. So, you know, we got those games, and those are great games. Hellblade on Switch is still great. Please wear headphones when you play that game. It's the sound
Yes.
design in that game is incredible. So, yeah, man, Game of the Year is going to be really challenging this year because I played a lot of great games on Switch
Yeah,
specifically this year. You know, like
exactly.
I don't have a lot of time to play my other consoles, right? But I did play a lot of games on Switch this year, and I'm very excited to talk about Switch Game of the Year in particular.
I can literally say that I think this has been a year where everybody pretty much bought of all of Nintendo's first party games. No, Super Mario Maker, Yoshi's Crafted World, um, Ultimate Marvel Alliance 3, uh, Fire Emblem, Astral Chain, Link's Awakening, Luigi's Mansion. They're probably gonna be buying Pokemon Sword and Shield. That's like for me saying that list. That's 8 first party like titles for Switch, and pretty much people on all 8. I don't think no other console you literally can name where you bought all 8 or you had 8 releases of first party games on that system.
Yeah, and like I do realize that Nintendo does a lot more first party output than the other consoles, right? Like that's just Nintendo. They've always been that way. But like when you release that many first party games, you expect one or two to be like a dud, right?
Right.
But they were all very good, right? Like they were none of them were bad, right? Like even, you know, I know Yoshi's Crafted World is one of your top games this year, right? Like
Yes.
you could have expected that to be a dud, right? And like I know it's simpler than a lot of other games in theory, but like still wonderfully crafted game and still a fantastic playing game, right?
Right.
You look at Fire Emblem, first console Fire Emblem in a long time. That could have gone either way, right? And it turns out to be one of the best in the series. Luigi's Mansion, haven't gotten that since GameCube. Like, it's not a Nintendo first party studio. Still put out a fantastic game. So I mean, Nintendo's really killing it, and I think they had a really strong first party showing this year again. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be super super interesting to talk about Game of the Year. Also, a ton of great indies came out this year.
Yep.
So it's gonna be
It and we may just, of course, we're gonna have honorable mentions, but we may have to give like a game that didn't make it. I don't want to say a game that was like super bad and no one didn't care, but just a game that didn't make it. That it had potential, but it just didn't work at all.
yeah. Yeah, I hope, man, I hope some interesting things happen with Game of the Year. Like I know like our lists are going to be similar. What I mean by interesting things, like I hope our lists are vastly different so we can have interesting conversations, right? It's not like one of those years where you expect certain games to be in like certain places on your list, I think we're gonna have a really interesting conversation this year, and I can't wait. I can't wait for Game of the Year, dude. So
Yeah. Mine is going to be challenging because of how I'm going to be approaching it personally, and it's just like, how do you approach this without, like 10 games? 10 games this year is hard to do. Of the other two platforms, and even PC was added, I think it will pretty much be an easy list. But I think this year, literally for Nintendo, it's going to be hard because it's just like whether the game is a port or it's a sequel to a game or a new IP, it's hard to see what people gravitated more than what uh you expect other people would just list.
Yeah.
Because it's just like at this point in time, like, does Astral Chain take it or does Fire Emblem take it? Or do neither take it? And like crazy, it may be crazy, but Luigi's Mansion 3 could take it. Like, it's insane. And we don't even know if Nintendo gonna just announce something crazy and shadow drop it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, for some people, shoot, Super Nintendo Online could have been Game of the Year. We don't know. It's crazy.
I know. There's so much, dude. There's so many, like, there's just so much, man. I don't even know where to start, but I do know. What?
I think one of the hardest things, or one of the easiest things, and I may catch flack for this, but everybody just listen. I really think maybe no more than AAA third-party games. I don't think it's going to be on a lot of people's list. Maybe this Call of Duty Modern Warfare and I
think Outer Worlds and Control. I don't know.
Control, yes.
I'm actually hearing a lot of good things about Modern Warfare.
Right, and that's why I said Modern Warfare would be on the list. Control would be on the list. But
I hear what you're saying. Like, I don't think Wolfenstein's going to be on a lot of people's lists.
Right.
I don't think. I think it's going to be a lot of indies and Nintendo games, and you know what I mean. Like
Right.
It's going to be a lot of first party games and indie games. I feel like,
Right, because even Borderlands 3.
I'm trying to think of like what games even came out this year. Like that's how like weird of a year it's been.
Okay, so Resident Evil 2 would be on it.
Yeah.
Call of Duty would be on it. Control would be on it. The Outer Worlds would probably be on it. I was debating on Outer Worlds because I didn't know if Microsoft was publishing it or Obsidian was doing all of the publishing and developing.
Private Division is publishing it. Which is 2K's indie label.
Okay, so those four. Borderlands 3.
I don't think Ghost Recon is going to be appearing on anybody's list.
No,
the Division 2 will probably end up on somebody's list.
It may. I know.
I think mechanically and like how that game plays and what it rolled out was great. I just feel like it was like one of those hit and miss games, right? Like I feel like, even Ubisoft came out and said that it didn't meet expectations, which I don't really know what that means, but in terms of sales, it could have sold like 10 million copies and they wanted it to hit 15 million, right? Like you don't know, but it was one of those games where a lot of people I think were excited for it because they're like, oh yeah, more Division. And then when people started playing it, they're like, maybe I didn't really want more Division. Like that's kind of what I got from it. And like the people who didn't really play the Division 1 really stayed with it and liked it, but the people who played a lot of Division 1 and moved on to the Division 2 were maybe like kind of burned out on it, to be honest. And then with Ghost Recon kind of being similar in a lot of unexpected ways, I think people are just burned out, And
a lot of people felt that it was worse than Wildlands. Because some people like Wildlands, some people didn't.
It's because they added a gear system and a leveling system, and it was basically like when you compare it to like Assassin's Creed making that an action RPG kind of makes sense, right? In this day and age, but like turning a third-person shooter series that's known for third-person shooting and not an RPG series and turning that into an RPG, like, I don't know if that fits. And I really wish, like, if Ghost Recon would have just been like a third-person shooter I would have been in on day one, right? Because I liked Future Soldier, which was the one for 360 and PS3, the last one on the systems. I didn't really play a lot of Wildlands because I didn't really care for Wildlands, but the way I played Assassin's Creed Odyssey, thinking about that and like transferring that into like that third person shooter style that I wanted Breakpoint to be sounded like really good until they're like, well, there's a gear score and there's systems in place that actively like make you change the way you want to play the game. Like that just kind of turned me off, and I'm like, I don't have time for that, right? So I don't know. Game of the year on other consoles is going to be super interesting. I don't like.
It's
honestly like I don't know if anybody is like waving the flag for Borderlands either, though.
No,
I mean, like I know people are like enjoying it, but like
they enjoyed it and they moved on. Like
yeah, that's kind of where I see it, right? So
right,
I
and like I feel, to me personally, I feel bad for Sony this whole year. You know, not so much for Xbox, but for Sony, because as much as people got on Microsoft about Crackdown 3 did well. You know, and it's a fun run. Days Gone, people thought it would be a really better game to Crackdown 3, but it had its problems, and like it was still buggy after it came out, and it took weeks for that game to get patched and even get new content. But nobody's talking about those games. Where Gears 5 is a very high contender for Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to see how Death Stranding does. If Death Stranding doesn't do what it should have done, and people are, I feel, underwhelmed, maybe Concrete Genie may be the only first-person game for Sony.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying, right? Is like I really think like first party and indies are gonna dominate lists this year, because a lot of these first party games have been in development for a long time, right? And
Yeah.
I mean Gears is really high on my list for game of the year. I know Jesse and I still need to finish the campaign, but that game is so high on my. I did not I expected it to be on my list because I really like Gears, but just the way they're handling it is just really making it, man, it's just
it's on my Game of the Year nomination, but I think that is my Game of the Year for Xbox only. You know, I don't think it's in the realm of discussions to have, but I don't think it's going to win it just yet.
yeah.
Because like I said, we got Luigi's Mansion that just came out. We got Sword and Shield that's coming out. I think there's some. We got Doom 64, but even though that's support, we got that coming out in November. It's just like, and who knows is coming out in December. Like we still got a Nintendo Direct to look forward to next month. We have to have a Nintendo Direct next month because Terry Bogard is the highlight for Smash, and you want to have something at least out for December. Like Panzer Dragoon needs to be out, but if they push it then to next year, I think people could understand because there's been reports that it's not coming out to be what it needs to be, and I don't know when Streets of Rage 4 is dropping. So like we got a lot, and then Blue Point today, we're hitting at some stuff, but we don't know what they're doing, and everybody think they're remaking Castlevania Symphony of the Night or Siphon Filter or Demon Souls. Like it sounds like they got two games in production that they're porting or that they're working on, and people don't know what that could be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, so it's going to be an interesting discussion, but I think for Nintendo it's going to be a harder discussion because you got so many choices compared to the other systems. You don't really have that much choice.
Right. Yeah. It's gonna be a crazy year. So, but anyways, that's gonna do it for this episode of Nintendo Power Block. Ed, I appreciate you. I appreciate, what we're doing and how we're kind of attacking this new idea and this new this new product, and I'm excited for our future, and I'm excited for the future of this show. I'm sorry that I've been a little bit tired and working on a lot of stuff lately, and I know I kind of have been I feel like I've been like just in my head the last couple days last couple weeks, I should say, about things, and I notice it on this show and other shows too. Like, I feel like I'm kind of in my head, and you know what I mean? I just feel like I'm in not a funk. I feel like that's not the right word, but I feel like I've been in my head and wanting to do more, and a lot of things are getting in the way of me focusing on some things. But Ed, I just I want you to know that I appreciate you, and I appreciate Jesse and Ray, and I'm ready for us to be to take that next step. I'm ready for us to be full in. It's really nice to see the commitment that everybody has made to this, and I'm ready, man. I'm ready to do this. So
in due time, we're going all in. It's going to be an adventure, and I literally cannot wait.
Yeah. So I want to encourage everybody to go subscribe to the NX Project's YouTube page. Like I said, there's going to be some changes in the next couple weeks, and it's going to be super exciting to reveal everything to everybody, our plan and everything. Like, I think once we reveal what we're doing and the name and the shows and stuff, like, I want to have an NX show just explaining what we're doing.
Yes.
And I think maybe like in like 2 or 3 weeks, right after I get settled in from the move and everything, that's when we'll probably do it, right? But I want to kind of let everybody know what we're doing and our plans and how it's going to work, and what we're kicking off and everything. So stay tuned for that. But Ed, I just you've been with me since the very, very beginning of what I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I appreciate you and your friendship and your dedication and stuff. It's been fun, this friendship we've grown over 6 years of content creating together. 5 years, 6 years. It's been a long time. Too long. I'm done. Goodbye. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you can't.
I know. I'm stuck with Ed. So I want to thank everybody for listening. Remember, you can find Nintendo Power Block every Saturday at 7 a.m. on your podcast service of choice, on Spotify, and on our YouTube page. Our website's going through some reworks right now, but you will also be able to watch it there once we get everything fixed and set up and everything. So you can email the show at nintendopowerblock@gmail.com. Your questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, and ideas. We will take all of them to heart and consideration, and read your questions on the air. Next week's going to be a good show, too. Ed, you said you're off tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll do the retro show stuff tomorrow night. We'll play some Link to the Past, if that's all right with you.
Yes.
Cool.
Well, I've been struggling not to play that game. I've been wanting to play it, and I don't want to start another save.
Yeah, so maybe tomorrow we'll record like 2 or 3 episodes, I think. We're getting pretty close to the end. We're gonna have to let people vote on a new episode, on a new game soon.
Yeah, I think we got 5 more dungeons.
Yeah, so come check out the Nintendo Power Block Retro Game Show every Thursday, where Ed and I play through some retro games. Right now we're playing through A Link to the Past, and it's good fun. So
yes,
check out the NX show, the show Ed hosts, and I kind of play the Robin to his Batman, and we got Jesse and Ray on that show too. We'll get them on this show at some point too. So, and we've got a lot of exciting content coming your way on the NX project. So, very excited. Ed, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at that retro code.
Also, check out Optional Opinion on SoundCloud and other podcast apps.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Correct. And check me on Twitch and on Mixer at the Lyrical One.
Yeah.
Also everybody, right now, currently on my YouTube page, I'm going to be also trying to get it on our new name, NDA, can't say what it is. But I have started a series called Hit 'em Hard, where I am taking games that I played in the past and actually playing the hardest mode on it. My first episode is up. If you want to check it out on my YouTube page, it's Lyrically C. You can check that out. And I'm doing I need
to give you the YouTube management of NX, even though I thought I invited you, but so you can upload it.
You know what? You did invite me. I didn't check my Hotmail thing and then like canceled it out.
It probably expired. I think it expires after like 7 or 30 days or something.
Cause something's been going on with my notification stuff. Like I put my notifications on for everything to get, and it's not coming up. So I might miss
it. Tomorrow before we start the retro game show, I'll send you the invite and we can kind of walk through it and get it set up. Because I need Jesse and Ray to accept their invites too. But we'll walk through all that later. So. Anyways, you can find me at CoreyHD713. You can also catch me on the NX show and various other content here on the NX project. Be excited, people. It's going to be I'm going to pull Square Enix. Please be excited. But seriously, I'm thrilled about what we're doing. I'm thrilled about content and videos and stuff. I've actually been writing again. For the first time in a couple years, to be honest, like really writing. So, yeah, that's exciting too. So, it's a good time to be podcasting. So, thank you everybody so much for watching and listening and for your support. Remember to rate us on your podcast service of choice. Subscribe to our YouTube page. Enter the Pokemon giveaway. And until next week, we love you.
Bye, everybody. Woohoo!